All right, and I will start sharing my screen. Today we are going to talk about the VPPR workshop, and we are going to share some of the best practices that us as a VPR team have learned. So in today's agenda, we'll be introducing our team. We'll go over brand guidelines. We'll have a Canva tutorial. We'll teach you how to create content quickly and effective. We'll also talk about our different social media platforms, some scheduling tools, Pinterest, and then at the end, we will have some Q&A, and then we'll wrap it up. This recording will be available on our YouTube channel for future viewing, or if you know someone that didn't have the opportunity to attend today, they are more than welcome to see it at a later time. Our email is prm@actoastmasters. If you have any questions or would like to send us a message, you always can. All right, my name is Marianne Reeves. I'm the PRM. I am Queen Bee, like they said. We're gonna come up with another title, but I am here. I am your genial host, and I will introduce my team, and they will say one fun fact. My one fun fact is that I taught my daughter's basketball team. I was more of the behind the scenes. And my husband was the actual coach. So that's one fun fact. I'll throw it over to Lena, who is the brains of the operation.
Thank you, Marian. Good evening, everyone. Nice meeting all of you here. So I've been with Toastmasters for 2 years now, and I've been with the social media team of District 3 for both these years. One fun fact about me, I was someone who was very shy to be on social media. In fact, it was my friends who created my Facebook account. That was how remotely associated I was with social media. And today I'm part of this wonderful team. I'm able to learn a lot of things. I'm always excited to keep up with all the latest trends in social media. So that is about me. I hand it over to Jason.
Hi, I'm Jason Hilton. I've been in Toastmasters for about 1.5 years. A fun fact about me is on the social media, all I have is Facebook because I'm old, so I don't know how to use the rest of them, but that's okay because I just make the templates. I'll hand it over to Tanya.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tanya. I joined Toastmasters in 2019. I'm part of the Milan Toastmasters group. Fun fact about me, I'm a bookworm who can just exist on books alone. And I used to have difficulty in connecting with people, and that's one of the reasons I joined Toastmasters. And today I have a much more bigger social circle because of Toastmasters. And I think it's back to Marianne again. Do we have Rachel on?
Thank you. It looks like Rachel is able to join
us.
So Rachel, I will pop it over to you. I can't hear you. All right. Unfortunately, we're not able to hear Rachel, so I'll introduce her. She does all our blogs, or I'm sorry, our emails. She also helps us out, edit them, and looking through them. She is amazing. So you will see some of her content in the future. Hopefully she can get her audio because she will be talking a little bit more about brand. If not, you will hear me, which is not as fun as when you hear Rachel. All right. It says that it's connecting the audio, so we'll move along and then just say hello when you're able to talk. All right. No, it says connecting. We'll give it a couple more. The wonderful things about being online. No? All right. Well, we'll continue. I see some friendly faces, so I see 6 of you, maybe more. Do we have more that didn't turn on their cameras? But I love seeing your smiling faces. So please take notes. This is some great content that we have prepared for you. We're going to do this twice a year, hopefully, where we are showing you some tips and tricks. And then if you know of anybody else that would benefit from this, please share with them. To get started, we'll talk about the brand guidelines. And yes, we can hear you.
What? Thank goodness. All right. Sorry, everyone, for my technical difficulties. I've been trying for a very long time to get on. All right, everyone. As Marianne mentioned, I'm going to start us off with the brand guidelines. How familiar are you all with the brand guidelines? Has anyone used these before, seen them? Good, good. I see some hands waving, so that's great that some of you are familiar. Whether this is all new to you or you have been part of the brand for years, hopefully you will learn something new tonight. So we'll move on. So first, I'm going to let you know we're going to go over 3 items. And first is we're going to talk about why we have brand standards, the Toastmasters brand portal, and the brand manual. And it looks like I have a delay in changing the screens around, so I apologize if they don't go along smoothly. But first, let's answer the questions. What are brand standards and why do we have them? A brand is a name, term, design, symbol, or any other feature that distinguishes one company's goods or services from those of another company. That being said, would you have joined the speaking club you are now in if it had been called the Timber Talkers or the Confident Communicators, if it was not affiliated with Toastmasters? I don't know about you all, but for me, it was the Toastmasters brand that I felt confident in joining and that caught my attention. So it only makes sense that as VPs of public relations that we harness the strength and the power behind this well-established brand by utilizing the brand standard. So there are 8 responsibilities that each of you have as the VP of public relations for your club. I'm not going to read through all of these. I'm sure you've read them all before, but I just want to point out that 2 of the 8 responsibilities are associated with the Toastmasters brand. So first, to understand the importance and impact of the Toastmasters brand, and the other one here on the second to last line is safeguard the Toastmasters brand. So those are your responsibilities. Let's take a closer look at what exactly this entails. So Toastmasters has had years to develop and fine-tune their brands, and they work hard to make it easy for all of us to promote our individual Toastmaster clubs. Everything you need is packed into a simple and easy-to-use brand portal. I think Mina's maybe going to try to paste that into the chat, the link to the portal in case you want to follow along while I'm talking. If you're good at multitasking, you can do that. But you can get to the site on your own by clicking on the resources tab on the Toastmasters website, and then you'll find a link to the resources page. So here on my screen, you'll see the resources page, and on that page, you'll see 6 different areas. In the bottom left corner is the brand portal. You can also find a link to the brand portal on the public relations page of the Toastmaster Officer Tools page, so there's a few ways to get to it, but this is going to be a place you probably would like to bookmark and refer back to often. So there are several useful areas to explore in the brand portal. Feel free to click around and get a little bit familiar while I'm talking. I strongly suggest that if you haven't already, you start with clicking on the leveraging the brand link on the brand portal. That's the top link there. And there's an 8-minute video. It's short, it's an excellent video, and we'll kind of just give you a little overview of, you know, what you're doing and why. The next thing I recommend is if you click on the brand manual link. That's the second link on the page. And this is going to be a copy of the brand standards. You're going to want to keep this somewhere. You can easily access it in a folder on your computer, probably, just to make it quick and easy and refer back to it often. Another area to note is the logo and design elements link. It's also an excellent resource, especially if you are setting up any type of social media accounts for your club, or you need to adjust your current accounts to be on brand going forward. You may want to use that link to get to a full library of Toastmasters logos. They have every different format you could possibly need. And there's also a social section on that page where you will find several editable Facebook and LinkedIn graphics that you can use. They're already correctly sized, they're already on brand. It's just super easy templates to use. So keep those items in mind and remember to use that brand portal. We'll go in a little bit deeper into that later. Back on the brand portal page, there's also a couple other items. If you see there's the marketing resources link and the website templates link. If you need those, if you need to create a website for your club, you can do that easily by using the templates that they have. So take some time to explore this brand portal on your own later. And for now, we're going to take a closer look at the brand manual. Lena, if you could post a link to that in the chat if you haven't already. It looks like it'll be coming. So when you hear the term staying on brand, this means using exact colors, fonts, and even a specific type of photography. The Toastmasters brand has strict guidelines on how and where to use our logo, and they are very direct about things that you should not do, like creating a custom club logo. If you like, click the link to the brand manual and in the chat, and let's take a closer look. I'm trying to see which one it is. It looks like, yeah, the very last link there is going to take you to the brand manual. So the manual is filled with very specific visual guidelines to help you strengthen any printed or digital collateral that you're going to create. There are a few pages I would recommend that you check out. The voice and tone page is on page 6. Here it reminds us to keep the communications clear, friendly, professional, and internationally friendly. And as you see on the slide now on the screen, you'll see a screenshot from page 11 of the brand standards. This has some specific do's and don'ts on logo usage. A few other pages of note are on pages 12 through 14 of the guide. And that's where the Toastmasters color palette is. And the font can be found on page 17 and 18 of the brand standards guide, and there are also links there to download those fonts onto your computer so you can use them in your communication. All of the pages have great information. The whole guide is excellent to help you when you're designing ads, social media posts, or creating other club materials. Lastly, I'd like to go over a little bit of the FAQs on pages 36 and 37 of the brand manual. Toastmasters is adamant that you do not create a custom logo.
Am I on the right page?
Yes. You are. You're doing a great job. Sorry. So I was clicking through them, but you're clicking through them. They're really adamant that we don't have our own logos. I know there are a ton of them that have been created, but it's very tempting to do this. We want to stand out from everyone else, right? But imagine if every McDonald's franchise across the globe created their own custom logo for their specific location, and they use their logo for their advertising and their signage outside their McDonald's. And even though they're selling the exact same food at every location, their customers wouldn't recognize the brand or know what to expect when they went in, because McDonald's adheres to those strict brand guidelines, we recognize the golden arches from a mile away, no matter where we are in the world, and we know exactly what we're going to get. So it's the same with Toastmasters. We really want to make sure that we are keeping the brand. With 16,800 individual clubs across the globe, it's really crucial that we keep a unified look and feel to best promote the Toastmasters experience. If you'll go to the next slide. If you already have a custom logo, please go back to your club leadership team after this meeting and let them know it's time to retire it. And return to using the official Toastmaster logo with the club name just printed underneath it. This will ensure that you are attracting future club members that are looking for a seasoned experience of the tried and true Toastmasters Club. That being said, it's equally important to communicate the Toastmasters brand on all of your materials, even those that are not using the Toastmasters logo. Sometimes we feel like it gets a little bit boring, always the blue, the red, the yellow, right? But it's really important that we keep to those same items, the logos, the fonts, and keep that solid Toastmasters brand. There is a rumor going around that if the logo is not present, we don't have to follow the guidelines, but on the FAQ page, on page 33 of the brand manual, there is a note here that all club materials must follow the Toastmasters guidelines for fonts, colors, photography, style, etc. So please keep that in mind as you're designing for your club. And another quick call out from the FAQs, always make sure you have permission to use and or reproduce any images and pictures utilized in your design. Images protected by trademarks and copyright should never ever be used. If you just go on the internet and find something cool and you use it, this could cause a lawsuit for Toastmasters. So please make sure you're looking for free images, make sure they're not protected, and even if you're using photographs of people in your clubs and public advertising, make sure you have their permission. If you can go to the next slide. Does anyone have any questions? I don't see any hands. Can anyone else see any hands? Feel free to just come off mute if you do have any questions. All right, so I know this was a ton of information. Just to recap, just please remember the following. 1, leverage the global brand and reputation to promote your club. Keep your club's message consistent with the national look and feel of the Toastmasters Club. And protect the brand by using that brand manual. All the information you need is there. And take advantage of the assets available on the brand portal. Everything there is already branded. They've made everything the right sizes. They've got web banners and advertising pieces and everything you could think of. And last, make sure you have permission to use any assets that you find on the website. And I will hand it over to Marianne now for a Canva tutorial.
Thank you, Rachel. Great information. I hope that you guys learned something new. Remember, we have some main colors, we have some main fonts, and we want to keep the aesthetics of our post, our communication all the same. That way, if somebody that doesn't know anything about Toastmasters, once they see it and they start looking at it in the future, they can recognize the brand. So thank you, Rachel, for giving us all those great tips, and hopefully you guys can implement them or are already implementing them. So now I am going to teach you guys about Canva. And a little secret is that we created this tutorial using Canva. So I am going to escape out of it, and I am going to show you how to use it and how you can create posts, flyers, anything you like. So first, you'll want to create a Canva account. Lena is going to put in a link on there so you can click on it. There is a paid version, and then there is a free version, depending on what you use it for. If you're just going to use it for your club, or if you're going to use it for personal things, you can purchase one. Another thing, because we are a nonprofit, sometimes you can sign in on there to get a free pro version as well. So just follow the link and then click through it and create your account. The first thing I want to teach you is what it looks like. So this is the main Canva and what it has. So you'll see the different designs here. You'll see documents, you'll see whiteboards, presentations, social media, videos, print products, and websites. So you can create a lot with this. What I'm going to show you today is how to create your brand kit and how to create a post using your brand kit, and how to make bulk posts. So more than one using one template. We'll get started. On the left-hand side, you'll see projects, templates, brand, and then different apps. Really quick, with your templates, there is hundreds of them, and we'll go into them in a few, but there's so many things that you can start utilizing from the get-go, and you don't have to start from scratch. So from a blank piece of paper, right? And then we'll click on brand, and I already have created a brand, but I'm going to show you how to create it from scratch. So we'll click on add new, and then we'll do Toastmasters version 3. Rachel mentioned that on that brand guidelines, you would have some logos, you will have some fonts and everything. So all those, you should be able to download them and have them available to you. So I have already downloaded my logo on here. And let's see. So this is what my logo looks like. Let me see. So here's my Toastmasters logo. So what I can do is I can go in here and upload it. Or you can drag it as well. So I'm just going to click open, and it's going to load up on there. It will automatically pick up the colors that the logo has. If we look at our brand guidelines, we're going to notice that some of these colors are not quite correct. So we want to just click on them. We can say keep or remove. So we're going to keep them, and then we can just go in there and edit them. So if you look at the brand guidelines that we had, you will be able to get the hex code. You will be able to get the hex code and be able to just change these out. Let me see if I can pull it up here and show you. So it's not loading. Okay, let me bring it on this side. So here are my different colors here. I'm not going to type them in just because of the time, but I want you to see how quick quick, you just type in this hashtag number, hex code, type it in here, and then the blue one, and then the yellow one, which is down here, and then the gray one. For the fonts, we're gonna do something very similar. We're gonna keep scrolling down on our brand book, and we're gonna see that one of our fonts is the Gotham, and then the other one is this one. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find the period one on Canva, but you can pick something that's very similar, but they do have the Gotham. So we're gonna just type in add new font, and then we're gonna type in just for title, and we're going to type in Gotham. So here you can see the cool thing about creating your different fonts is that you can add a title. So if your titles are usually 42, the size 42, you can make it bigger or smaller, and then you can make it bold. So we'll just create a couple of them with Gotham, and we'll just do different fonts. And as we're clicking through these, this is all being saved. And once we start creating those posts, it'll be easier for us to see them. So we have some of those on there. We're good to go. We have our logo, we have our colors, we have our fonts. You can add photos. So for us, we have our team, so we can upload all our photos. If we have different graphics that we use, we can add those as well. So this is done. We created it. And then now we can start creating our different posts. So I'm going to go back. See, now I have 3 because I was practicing just to make sure I got it all right. So we have our regular one, and then now we have 2 other versions. So let me go, and I'm going to create a post. A quick way to create it, we're going to go to the right-hand side, and we are going to create a design. Here, that'll give you pre-sizing for different platforms. We are going to go with the portrait for Instagram post. Once we see it here, so let me show you what it will end up looking. Right here. So this is what we are going to end up creating. And I'm going to show you from scratch. So this is going to be the end goal. Usually you'll start with a blank page. And remember earlier I told you that we had different templates. On the left-hand side, you have design. So here's our hundreds of different templates that all have already been created by someone else. So you can choose the one that you like the most, and then you can go and edit. I am going to pick this one. And see here how it says new in the shop, sneak peek, and then it has 3 different photos. So I'm just gonna type in open house. A lot of you do open houses once or twice a year. We are just going to type in open house and type in our where leaders are made. Okay. Under elements, we can select different shapes, graphics, stickers. There is different charts if you wanted to do. There's frames. One thing that you can do on their frames is add it on here, and then you can add a different picture. So we'll try that. We'll add our picture right here. We'll center it at the bottom, right about there. This graphic already has some pictures, so we're going to go under uploads, and we're just going to look through our images. Here you can see that we have some images already. So I'm just going to pick a few of some people in our district. So I'm gonna get KB's picture. I am going to look for some more that look like they're having fun. Look at these 3 people here. We're promoting how much fun we have in the district. So I'm just dragging them and popping them on there. If you notice, we have where KB has it, some of her head is cut out. So we're just gonna double click on it. And what that does, you can bring it down. So some of your photos are not cropped that way. If you wanted to zoom in, you can make it bigger and you can zoom in on just one person. So you can see here how you can zoom in, and then you just click out of it. For our open house flyer, we are missing a date and time. So we're gonna click on text and see how we have our Toastmasters brand. Right up the top, we have our different fonts. So I'm just gonna click on a added subheading, and I am going to type in a date. I'm gonna do it for September 26, 2023. And then I'm going to add another one. It's for the time. So it's going to be at 5 o'clock to 6. Okay, you guys can make it look prettier, adjust it. Okay, with our font, with our fonts, it'll be, we'll leave it as this because we'll come back to it and we'll change it to fit the Toastmasters brand. However, there's a few things that you can do. You can change the text. So you can put your Toastmasters different color text right here. So if you wanted to do a bright red, you can. If you wanted to change the time to a blue, you can do that as well. If you wanted to do some effects, like create a shadow, if you wanted to create a lip, there's different options on the things that you can do. All right, let's continue going down. This looks pretty good. If we scroll down a little bit more on the left-hand side, we can see that there is a logo section on here. It looks like it has been changed to brand, but we can still see it from here. So here is our Toastmasters logo. So I'm going to drag it and pop it in here under this template that we had, or this element that we had. So now it's at the bottom. So now we have pretty much done a flyer in less than 5 minutes. So we have open house where leaders are made, the time, the day, we have some pictures. Here you can change this to different words, but this is not branded. This is not Toastmasters brand, right? It doesn't quite look like this. So what I'm going to go, I'm going to go back up to design under styles. We are going to see that we have our Toastmasters brand. Here's our font. So I'm going to click on here and it's going to change our font to that Toastmasters brand font. And then I'm going to click on the color palette as well. And that is going to change everything to be on brand. And if you click on it again, it'll rotate some of those colors so it looks more aesthetically pleasing. So I kind of like this. I like this. There's the gray, the red, the blue. It makes it pop. So now I'm going to show you something that you can do to make it more than one. For example, let's say that we, instead of open house, we wanted to create a different event. So I have an Excel sheet here that is going to load, and I have three different events. I have an open house that we're going to do in September. I have a theme meeting and I have a club meeting. So all of these, I want to use it for this same template right here that we created. What I am going to do So I'm going to make this smaller. I'm going to minimize it. I am going to go all the way down and look for bulk create. If you guys don't have this bulk create, you may see it under apps. Under apps, there's tons of different things that you can add. You can link to Canva. You can create an R code or QR code. You can create an image by texting the words that you want. Like you can create a panda on top of a car. It'll AI generate it, and then you'll have a picture with a panda in a car or on top of the car. You can link it to your Google Drive. You can link it to YouTube. There's tons of different things that you can link it to. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this bulk create feature. And what that does is going to create, by me plugging in the information, is going to populate it in here quick and easy. And then it's going to give me those 3 different templates or posts to create. So I am going to do it by entering the data manually. And I have it here. So I am going to put it over here so I can see it. And then I'm going to type in event name. I'm going to type in the date. And then I'm going to add another text box. So I am going to add a time. Here I'm going to type in open house. The meeting. And then I'm going to type in club meeting. I believe I can also copy it in here. Let's see if it'll work. Copy and paste. Yep. All right. So I was able to copy it from my Excel sheet into this quick and easy. And then now I'm going to click done. You can have more sections. So if you had more than 1, more than 3 events, you can do that. So I'm just going to click done. And now I am going to link this. So the event name is up here. So I'm going to click on the event name and then right click and connect data. I am going to select event name and see how it changes it to what the title is. I am going to do the same thing for the date. So I'm going to right click, connect data, and date. The next one is the last one is going to be the time. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click continue. And it's telling me that it's going to plug in all this data into this template here. So it's going to create 3 different pages for me. And it's going to bring up a new tab. So here now I can see my 3 different ones that it created. Open house, club meeting. For this one, it does look like my theme meeting. It's a little bit bigger. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in here and make it fit. Keep in mind that if you don't capitalize something, you're going to have to fix it, or you just go back to the bulk section and edit that out. But now we created 3 different posts, 3 different things, and it's ready for us to schedule it out, something that Lena is going to go over in a little bit with you. So I taught you how to create the brand, how to create a quick post, and how to create more than one using that one template that you created. That's one of the things that we have been able to do is we create templates and then we go back and utilize that template for a different thing. So thank you so much. Do you have any questions that I can answer for you?
There was a comment that was made in the chat that we can get a Canva Pro membership because we're a not-for-profit. Can you give us some more information about how to do that, or do we just contact our club leadership?
Great question. So you can get one. You have to get specific information. I don't know all the details, but I can look for the link, and then once you, I can send it over, and then you can read through it and then just sign in. You may need your club name, some information. I'm not quite sure exactly what it does, but I can send you the link, and then we can go from there.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Mariana, not to interrupt, and I
Go
apologize.
ahead.
But I applied a pro membership nonprofit for Showtime, and basically you do have to obtain the 501 C letter.
Okay.
But once you have that, if you present that with your application to Canva, there's a waiting period. It's not too terribly long. But yeah, it's pretty much a done deal if you're applying for Toastmasters.
Okay, so you just need that ID, right?
You need the actual 501c letter,
Okay.
that confirms that we are actually an official nonprofit.
Okay.
And you should be able to find that on Toastmasters International.
Okay, perfect. There's your answer. So thank you so much, Marilyn. Appreciate it. All right. Anyone else have any other questions? No? All right. Well, I am going to hand it over to Jason, who is going to be talking about presenting content in simple steps. So I am going to hand it over to him. And let me know when you're ready to change slides, and I'll change it for you.
Thank you so much, Marianne. Okay, we've talked about the color schemes. We've talked about the fonts. We've talked about doing multiple templates. And this is just a simple template thing that I do for the VPPR team. And if you go to the next slide, please. I have several different slides here to show you. This is one that I had pictures sell. So any of the slides you make, you want to put pictures in there. And as Marianne showed, you can put all different images, all different sizes. You can adjust them however you want. But it's proven that if you have pictures in your ad, that they will go further and you'll get more people to look at them. So we want smiling faces in there. You want, as much as you can get in there of people, and just different things like that. And you can do cell phones, laptops. You can do squares, circles, triangles, rectangles. You can put that all in there, and you can put people's faces in there, groups of people, anything that you can think of is possible. Next slide, please. Okay, and here is the non-pictures. You might have one, like when I do mine, I get a PR request. I'll look at the PR request, and I'll kind of decipher what they're wanting to send out to the public, what they want to do. Does it want to be about spies? Is it, tickets they're giving away? Is it somebody's getting promoted? I will look at that and kind of imagine and put together different things that I can put together for it. And here are some examples of just the different images you can use and type in a different font. It's the Canva might be limitless, but your imagination's not. So as you saw, there's hundreds and hundreds of pre-made templates, but you can also get that blank template and just create whatever you want with it. The sky's the limit. Next slide, please. And here are some more. Just as I was saying, if you wanted the spies, the crowns, the squiggly lines, if you're announcing something, you can use the megaphone, like, hey, get excited for this. Whatever you can think of and use is there between the pre-made ones and your imagination, and you can pull any element you want in there. You just type it in, and pretty much every element you can think of, like she was saying, if you wanted a bear on a car, it'll find that for you. So it's super simple, super easy. You can put anything in there. The only thing is you just kind of got to watch because of your ticket one here. It says ticket. So if you wanted to put something in there, like a special thing, like your club's having an open house or something, you'd want to find like more of a blank ticket to where you can put your own words in there. Say, our club's having this open house on the 24th at 5 to 6:30, and you could actually put it in the little ticket stub. And so it's just amazing how much more you can do with it. Next slide, please. Here are some examples of that. 3 slides. The first 2 had to do with baseball. You can change the color, you can change the fonts, you can even change like the kind of how they're in these triangles. You could turn it upside down if you want. So where it says the player of the game, you can have the big triangle above the player and move the player around anywhere you want. The first 2 are easy examples of how to use it and how to use the colors, and the colors will change. The third one with the baseball field, I put that one up there because if you're looking through the templates and you see something like that, you want to be careful if you're going to use the Toastmasters logo, because you have the grass there, you have the background, you have the stadium, you have the lights. And when you do that, that's not going to change colors for you. And I hope that makes sense to everybody. So when you go to find the templates, you want to find something a little more easier than the baseball field one, because you're going to find that it's not going to adhere to the brand standards as easily as the other 2. And the one in the middle was an orange one, and the one on the left, it was orange, but I could change it to my Toastmasters colors, your palette, your everything else. Does that make sense? So you always want to start with something that you know that you can change it to the Toastmasters, so it fits our logos, it fits everything, just to be safe. And my part's not that big, but like I said, I just do all these templates. And so I work on them all the time. It's pretty easy. I usually make 4 to 6 templates per PR request that I get in, because that way when Lena or Marianne goes to post them, they can pick through them and see kind of, hey, this one looks cooler, or this one looks better for this, and they can adjust and pick which ones they want. But it's so easy. And I give them 4 to 6, and it probably takes me to do 4 to 6, maybe 15 minutes to do that. So I can get all the wording on there, the nice layout, everything in less than 15 minutes on 4 to 6 posts. And it's super simple. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. That's it for my part. Thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Great job. So you see a pattern here, right? We started with the brand, how important the brand is, how we can use Canva to utilize it, and how simple it is to create a post, and just the different elements as Jason mentioned. And he does a wonderful job. In less than 15 minutes, you can have 6 different posts. So why not, right? Why not? Up next, we are going to have Lena, and she is going to talk about our different social media platforms. Take it away.
Thank you, Marian. Good evening, everyone, once again. So I'm going to speak a little bit about different social media platforms, and we're going to talk about a few scheduling tools as well. So first question, how many here are following our district-free social media platforms? Can I see a show of hands? The PR team, I know we are anyway following. Okay, I do see others as well. So that's great. If any of you are not yet following, I'm going to be dropping all these links in the chat. So as a district, we have got presence across all the important or the popular social media platforms. So we are there on Facebook, and on Facebook, we have a public page and we have a private or a members only page. So a lot of information which is needed to be told only to members, we communicate it or we promote it in the private or the members Facebook page, and anything for the public, we post it on the public page. So we have 2 of these in Facebook. We are on Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, which is now called X. We do have a YouTube channel on TikTok and MeetUp as well. Some of these we have been having a presence for a long time now. Some of these we've just recently started. So as a team, we are also learning how to leverage all these different platforms. And the reason why we need so many platforms is because one, our members might be spread across these platforms. Some of them prefer using only Facebook. I think Jason said he prefers using Facebook, whereas some others might prefer only Pinterest. Tanya here is someone who is very active on Pinterest. So we need to cater to, or we need to reach out to members across different platforms, and not just members, even the public. That's how we are able to attract guests to our clubs. So we need to make sure that we reach out to the public in as many platforms as possible. Now you might ask me, is this something applicable for a club? For a club, you'll have to see whether you would want to have this many platforms. It might make sense to be on Facebook, Instagram, and maybe LinkedIn. You might not have the time to be active on so many platforms, but that's completely up to you. And we just wanted you to let you know that if you are on any of these platforms as a club, you can always tag the District 3 page. That way, you can reuse some of our content. You can repost some of our content. That way, you don't have to create it specifically for your clubs. So this is just an overview of all the different social media platforms. Could we go to the next slide, please? Here, I'm going to be talking specifically about one of the platforms that I showed you in the previous slide, which is called MeetUp. I'm not sure if any of your clubs is already on MeetUp. If not, I strongly recommend to get onto MeetUp. So what is MeetUp? MeetUp is a social media platform where individuals go to make friends, to network, and to join their interest groups or hobbies. So you have a lot of different groups on MeetUp. You'll find things like exercise related groups. You'll have a hiking group, or you'll have a bike group, or you'll have groups related to your passion or hobbies, like you have an arts and crafts group or a photography club. So you will have a lot of these different groups, and this is where people go out to see which are the groups they would like to join. So like that, anyone out there in the public who's looking to join a Toastmasters or a public speaking group, they will be interested, or they'll be drawn to the Toastmaster events that are hosted on MeetUp. So on MeetUp, you can go and promote your club's event. That way, anyone who's interested to join will RSVP and they will join your event. So whether it's in person or virtual, any of those you can promote it on MeetUp. So District 3 has a MeetUp page, and your club can host your events on this District 3 MeetUp page for free. You don't have to pay anything additional for that. You can make use of this opportunity of the District 3 MeetUp page. So what you need to do for that, these are the steps that are shown on this slide. So as your club's Vice President of Public Relations, all you need to do is first to just log on to MeetUp, meetup.com with your email ID. Once you do that, you need to go and join the District 3 MeetUp group. So I'll post that link once again in the chat. So you need to join this group. Once you join the group, you can email us at prm@aztoastmasters.org. All you need to let us know is what is your club name, what are the dates that you meet, and the timing that you meet. And with this information, we will be able to create an event for you on the District 3 Toastmasters MeetUp page. And once we create that event, we will be giving you the event organizer access. So with that access, you will be able to edit and schedule any future events that you want for your club. So in the next slide, I will show you a little bit about this as to how you can go and edit once you get the event organizer access. So this on the left side, the picture you see is the District 3 group. And once you create your account, you just need to go and join this group. And on the right side, you will see the option where you can go and edit. So under the organizer tools, once we set the event for you and once we make you the event organizer, you will see this view. You can just go click on edit event. You can move to the next slide. And this is how the page will look for any event that you would want to have for your club. And this is where you can put in the club name, the meeting information, the date, time. You can have a photo. It is suggested to have a photo because if there is something unique about your club, maybe one of the last club meetings that you had in person where all of you took a group picture together, you could put that over here. Of course, as Rachel said, get consent from everyone when you post pictures on public forums. So you can have that. You can have a description of what your club is, what makes your club unique. So you can have that in the description, and you can, on the right side, you can say whether it's an online event, you can put the days that you're meeting, and finally, you can have the option for people to RSVP, if they would like to attend your meeting. So this will give you the access to edit your meetup events once we set you up a meetup. You can go to the next slide. So before I go into the scheduling post, one thing about meetup is, yes, do ask your own club members to RSVP, because the more number of RSVPs are there for an event, that attracts more people in the public towards that event. So your club members can be the brand ambassadors for your club events. So with that, I would like to talk a little bit about how we can schedule posts. So it is important for us to have a very active social media presence. Now, I'm sure all of us would agree to the fact that I would want to join a club as a guest if I find they have a very active social media presence, rather than another club who may not have posted on social media for more than a year. So that is why it is important that we promote our club as frequent as possible. And that might lead to the question, where do I have the time to do that? So that is why in the earlier section, when Marianne was taking you through the Canva part, we showed you how you can create multiple posts at one go. And here I'm going to show you how you can schedule multiple posts at one go. So what I usually do is, once in every 2 or 3 weeks, I take about an hour's time, schedule posts across all the different platforms that District 3 has for that entire duration of 3 weeks. That way it's one and done. I don't have to worry about it for 3 weeks. So scheduling can make your life really easy. And some of the tools that we have for scheduling, there are third-party tools. The one that we use is called Later. We use this because this helps us schedule across several platforms. So we can use Later to schedule in Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok. All these together, it allows us to schedule through this app called Later. It is paid. So if your club does not have presence across so many social media platforms, it might not make sense to go for a third-party tool. So that is where the Facebook Meta Business Suite comes handy, because that is something you don't have to pay for. It's an inbuilt feature in Facebook. And the good thing about the Facebook Meta Business Suite is that you can schedule in a single post on both Facebook and Instagram. And I will show you in a bit how you can do that. But that is a very easy feature that Facebook has introduced so that you can try to get both those platforms covered in one single post. So a few things before I show you the live view of how to post it. Things to keep in mind when you're scheduling. One, try to use the best dimension of the flyer that you are posting on social media. So if in Canva, if you remember when Marion showed us, there were different templates. So for Instagram, there's a different size, for Facebook, a different size, LinkedIn, a different size, and so on. So what I do is, to make my life easier, I stick to the Instagram square dimension, which is 1080 by 1080, because this helps me schedule across platforms and it is quite efficient. All you will see is on Facebook, there will be two blank spaces on either side of the image. And usually Facebook adds a color which is in line with whatever post we have. So that way, with the square post, I can cover all different social media platforms. So make sure you have the best dimensions when you're posting. Another thing is, try and use as many hashtags as possible. So what is a hashtag? This is something which is used to group similar content together. And the reason why I say use popular hashtags is because that way your content is going to be grouped along with a lot of other popular content, and therefore it will make your content easily discoverable, or it will bring it up to the top in the search. So that way, try to use popular hashtags. And something that I learned from Karen, who was our past district director, is it's a good practice to use the ratio of 3:3:3. So what she says is use 3 hashtags to talk about what you do, the next 3 to talk about who are your clients or who are your audience or who you help, and the last 3 to talk about why you. So it'll be a good way to have these hashtags in your post when you post it on social media. And the next important thing is tag your club members. I spoke about having club members as your brand ambassadors. So try to tag them and encourage them to like and share the post. That way you'll get higher action and higher reach. If you notice, if you're closely following the District 3 pages, you would have seen we had a lot of posts around symposia winners, and we had posts about Sylvia Davis and Stephanie Angelo, who represented District 3 in the convention. And if you notice, there was a lot of action on these posts. A lot of people congratulated them, and there were some of them who reposted or shared that post. So that way, we got a lot more reach. So the same thing you can do for your club's posts. Ask your club members to share, like, and comment. That way you'll have a higher reach. And finally, we do have a publishing calendar template that we use in our team, because we post across so many social media platforms. So this template helps us to keep track of it. You could go to the next slide, Marian. We will, this is the tracker that we use. I'll share the template in the chat in a bit. If any of you would like to use this, you can. This is just a way, it helps us track all the different social media promotions that we're doing across platforms. So we thought we could just share this template with you in case any of you are interested to use it. So with this, I will quickly request Marian to stop the screen sharing. Let me share it from my end. I'll quickly show you how to schedule on Facebook Meta Suite. Okay. You're able to see my screen? Okay. So I go into District 3 Toastmasters. Now, each of you as VPPR of your club, you will also most likely have admin access for your club's public page. So you will also see something similar to what I'm showing on this screen. This is the District 3's page. Likewise, you will be doing it for your club's page. So once you go into with the admin access, on the left-hand side, you'll find the Meta Business Suite. You can click that. Then on the left-hand side, you'll find Planner. Click that. So you will see all the posts that for this week, I've already scheduled it out. For the next couple of weeks, I've already scheduled them. So one post I will show you how to schedule it. The post that I'm going to schedule is this one. The dues are due. So this was supposed to post it today. So I kept it, I parked it to show you today. So when I go into the Meta Suite, on the bottom, you see create. I can click on that. Now I can either create a post, a story, a reel, or an ad. Given that the one that I want to post today has got some background music and it's got a moving animation, it is best to post it as a reel rather than a post, because that way the visibility is much better. So I'm going to choose create reel. And here, this is where I said at one go, it will allow me to schedule both on Facebook and on Instagram. So it makes my life easier. So I select both these and I quickly go into the post. I copy the text. I can put that over here. Go to add video. And I have downloaded that from Canvas. So this is the video for it. And this is how it will look once I schedule it. And here I would like to show you a little bit about the hashtags that I was talking about. So if I were to add, let's say, public speaking. So if you see here, the first one that comes up is across 1.3 million posts, public speaking. Whereas something else might be a little lesser, like public speaking coach might be only 85K. So I would want to use the more popular ones. So I'm going to use public speaking, the first one, which is 1.5 million. And I'm going to use leadership. So any word which is associated to Toastmasters, you can use. So if you see leadership, it's found in 4 million posts. So that way, that's one of the popular hashtags. So once I put all this, I can go to next. And here I'm posting it right away. So I'm just saying share. If I want, I can schedule it as well. I can schedule it for a later time, a later day. Whenever I want, I can go ahead and schedule it. So this is how you can use Facebook Meta Suite to schedule your posts for about 2-3 weeks together across both Facebook and Instagram. So with that, I will take any questions if you have before we go ahead with the rest of the presentation. Any questions? Okay, so I will now hand it over to Tanya, who's going to talk more about Pinterest. Over to you, Tanya.
Thank you, Lina. Good evening, Toastmasters. I hope you're enjoying today's workshop session. Today, I'm going to talk about Pinterest. I know most of you would be familiar with Pinterest. You've either looked up Pinterest for checking out home decor, party ideas, fashion recipes, DIY, or at least you have heard from some of your friends and relatives who have looked up Pinterest for any of these interest items. Today, I'm here to tell you how you can use Pinterest to promote your club events, and reach an even larger audience. So let's start from the basic question. What is Pinterest? Pinterest is a social network that allows users to visually share and discover new interests. Now, users can post images or videos, and when these posts are usually called pinning, and others can browse these pins, or you yourself can browse the pins which other users have posted out there. So in other words, Pinterest is a content sharing site that works as a virtual pin board. Now, in the beginning, the Pinterest users were mostly females, but in the recent years, with Pinterest expanding to other countries, the gender divide has shrunk a lot. We have a lot of our male counterparts also who are using Pinterest nowadays. And another reason is that the users have found more and more topics of common interest. So we have a very big chunk of users on Pinterest nowadays. Another question which normally makes its rounds is, why is Pinterest so popular? The answer is first, because of the simplicity of the design. Pinterest is designed in a very simple way for users to navigate across these platforms. And the second, and probably the most important fact, is that the Pinterest capitalizes on our love for stunning visuals. I mean, as users, we are always attracted to visuals which are stunning and which invite us. So it's not a surprise that today Pinterest is considered as one of the popular visual discovery engine. It's next only to Google today. Now, on the screen, there are some snapshots I have put of how the Pinterest homepage, as well as the snapshot below one, shows our Pinterest page for the 3 Toastmasters. Marian, can we move on to the next slide? Yes. Now, the reasons to use Pinterest. Pinterest has a very clean design, and the visuals which are posted and which are available for users to view are bold visuals. The main focus on using these visuals is to find and share ideas and to share the inspirations. Once you discover the pins you love, it allows you to save them onto boards. Now, once you have a collection of pins, you have the capability to organize them into different boards so that they're easy to find. So next time you can, when you log into Pinterest, you know exactly to which board you saved, what are your interests. And the same goes for the pins you create. Now, if you're creating or pinning content out there, it's easy for you to pin these to your specific boards. Now comes the next question. How does your club benefit from using Pinterest? First, you can promote public speaking and your club events on Pinterest. You can connect with other clubs and other Toastmasters who are already using Pinterest. And the last and probably most is that Pinterest makes sharing easy and more effective. It expands your reach. Now, there are some more reasons, especially from our Toastmasters perspective. So the first one, the leftmost the one shows the growth. It allows you to grow traffic to your website and blogs. Now, Pinterest, along with Google, are two top drivers of traffic to blogs and websites. You may be hosting your club content on your Toast host site, or you may have a blog out there on which you post the contents related to your club events. You can pin images or videos on Pinterest, which in turn can direct the users to your Toast host site and to your blog. So this increases the number of users who have visibility to your club website or club blog. Similarly, if your club has presence on social media channels, say Facebook or Instagram, Pinterest has integration with Facebook and Twitter. Similarly, you have a Chrome extension available, which allows you to post images from Instagram directly onto Pinterest. Now, this Chrome extension is free. You can easily download and install it on your Chrome browser. And the last one, if you are one of those clubs who love to post your club meetings and your club speeches onto YouTube, Pinterest is the right place for you to generate traffic back to your YouTube content. To next slide. Now, the ultimate goal of using Pinterest is to promote your club and club events. Now, how do we get started with this? The first thing you have to do is set up a business account. So if you look at the leftmost image, at the very bottom, you would see an option to create a business account. And the best part of it is free. You can create a free business account for your club content. The next step comes building your profile. Now, here you can describe, you can give your website address, your Toast host website address, or you can give any other website on which you are hosting your club content. You can describe your business. You can focus on the public speaking, or the other goals can drive traffic to your site. You can grow awareness. So you can choose some of those options over there. And once you have all these settings, account settings logged in, now you can start pinning. You can post about your club. You can post about your club events or any notification to open houses or speech contest, accolades, etc. And all these posts can be linked back to your actual social media content or your website, so that from Pinterest, the users are clicking on the link and they're going to your actual social media platform and websites. Marian, next slide, please. The best part of having this business account is that you can track the traffic, the user traffic on your profile. Now here I have a snapshot which I took from our D3 Toastmasters Pinterest profile. We are just starting out on Pinterest, so if you see, we are still generating traffic on this one. But the snapshot here shows you the traffic, the performance statistics for the past 30 days. If you see on the left side, you can see that how many saves have been there on the pins which were posted on the D3 Toastmasters Pinterest board, and how many of the outbound clicks. Now the outbound clicks are the clicks which are going when a user goes to a Pinterest and then clicks on the actual link, which will redirect them to the actual website or the social media site. So those are tracked under the outbound clicks. And on the right side, you can see which of the pins have generated the most traffic, and you can see the stats per pin on the right side. Marian, next slide, please. Now we have a couple of best practices, the do's and don'ts, as is applicable to most of the social media platforms. So the first one, you make sure that your visual content attracts attention. You have to make the audience curious enough that they click on the link and get directed to your actual website and other social media platforms. If you remember the content options which Marian showed in Canva, there are size templates for Pinterest posts. You can use these templates to generate content for Pinterest. Keep in mind to follow the brand standards when you're posting on the club related content. Stick to the color codes and the font sizes. Keep your pins organized. Categorize your pins into different boards. That way the users can follow the board in which they are interested in. And whenever you're pinning some new content to the board, the user would get notified that there's a new pin which has been added to the board. Make sure to post regularly. This will give an impression that your club is an active club, and this will generate the traffic which is coming to your content sites. Like and save pins from other Toastmaster clubs and content related to public speaking. So if you do a search on your Pinterest homepage, you come across the pins which have been created by other Toastmasters club. You can just do a search with the word Toastmaster and you can get a ton of content out there which have been posted by Toastmaster clubs from across the world. You can like them, you can save them to your own boards, and that in turn will give a notification for the other users to come and check out your pins and your boards. And last but not the least, be respectful of what you're posting. Some of the don'ts, I think this is something which is applicable to most social media sites. Don't overpin or overpost. Don't download photos from the web and upload them as your own pins. Don't just repin the images. Make sure to put up your own content as well, because that will give an image that you are an active participant in the club community, Toastmasters community. And lastly, don't use too many hashtags. Keep your hashtags limited, like like what Lena told. You can follow that 3x3 rule and make sure to have an appropriate set of hashtags out there for each of your content. That's all from me on Pinterest, and I wish you all happy pinning. Back to you, Marian.
Thank you so much, Tanya. That is amazing. Hopefully you guys are going to take some of these takeaways that we have provided for you from the branding, creating a Canva account, creating easy templates, how to add different things to your post, to scheduling it, to using some of our templates that we have if you want to repost them so you can use them, to Pinterest. So thank you all. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to open the floor for some Q&A. If you guys have questions, please unmute. Let's answer some questions. Nobody? Did we? Go ahead.
Hey, this is fantastic. Thank you. Great job. You're hearing me okay, right? I'm getting a little feedback. Okay. One of the things that Toastmasters International talks about is that 50% of people who click the Find a Club never hear back from that club. Right? So 50% of all potential members just disappear there. And one of the keys that a VPPR should be doing is going in and looking in Club Central at club contact information to make sure it's up to date with the correct information. I took the opportunity to do that during this session, and our email points to our Free Toast Host officer VPPR address. So it is always up to date when we update our officers in Free Toast Host. But so many clubs have someone who was a member 3 years ago and they've never gone in and updating that. So I just wanted to suggest that people do that.
Thank you, Michael. That's great. So thank you so much. Anybody else out there?
Yeah, great point, Michael. This is Nancy Duckett. Just found out this week that for our club, the Find a Club went to a contact person from way back. Fortunately, that person is still a Toastmaster and a member of the club. Something that we've started is when that contact person sends the response back, we copy the secretary, and if that contact person is not the president, we copy the president as well. So there's some backup to it. But that's a really good point. Thanks for bringing that up, Michael. It was just something that was top of mind for our club this week.
I wanted to add one suggestion over here. In one of my previous Toastmasters club, we used to use Google Groups. And when you're using a Google group, you get like a common group email ID. You can go and add all the officers under that group. And even if somebody is not able to check emails, or everybody in that group gets notified of a new email coming in. And one good thing about us that it could be rolling group email ID. So that way, even if officers are changing, you just have to go in and change the members under that.
That is a great idea. That is a great idea. Maybe we should, compile all of this and maybe create a video on how we can do that, because I'm just learning that you could add an email and then you can just add different people to it. So if I didn't know, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that didn't know. So maybe that's something that we'll take, and then maybe we can create something.
One thing that we have been doing the last few years at Showtime is we actually have an archive email address that we've actually entered into Free Toast Host, so that anything that comes into or goes out of through Free Toast Host is copied to that archive email. This is an external email address. So that way it's always really nice, because somebody can just go in every once in a while, do a real quick check down to make sure that nobody has missed, say, for example, a contact from Club Central. Listen to me. I got Club Success Plan in my head, but from the World Headquarters site. So that's also something that you can set up Free Toast Host, and it's good to kind of utilize as many of those tools as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Great feedback. Anybody else out there?
Yeah, so I just got it was just now brought up to me recently in the TLI that The VPPR that I am notified every single time somebody makes an inquiry through our website about that they would like to be a guest. And I didn't know that I was supposed to follow up with them. Like I just thought that they were going to show up and then we would take it from there. So something that I've sort of been struggling with is what's exactly the line between VPPR and VP membership? Because we're both kind of we have the same goal in mind, but I don't really know how to convert those members or if I should use AI to reach out to them, maybe Facebook forums, something just to get to know them, to encourage and motivate. Does anybody have any suggestions about how to handle those types of automated system emails?
Yeah, I could answer that, Ernesto, because I do get those emails as VPPR of my club. So what I have been doing, let me first answer the question of VPPR versus VP membership before I go into what I do. So VPPR is going to be the first point of contact for anyone in the public. So if they would like to know when your club is meeting or a little more about your club, then VPPR is the person that they're going to reach out to. VP membership, I would say, it's a VPPR who's going to hand it over to the VP membership once this person has joined in as a guest for maybe one of our meetings, and then it has to be a smooth transition between the VPPR and the VP membership. So yeah, that is about the role as to how it transitions between VPPR and VP membership. Now to the point of how to go about responding to these, what I do is I'm an Excel sheet person, so I have a spreadsheet in place. As and when I get these automatic emails, I make it a point to track it in an Excel. That way I'm making sure that I'm responding to each of them. And I do it on a weekly basis because at least you want to respond in about 3 to 4 days. You don't want to keep it for more than a week. So every week, what I do is I mark all these emails that I get, and I have a standard template that I say, that I respond to them with saying, thank you for contacting our club. This is when we meet, and this is the link if you would like to join in. So I have a standard template which I send out to all of them. That way I make my life easy. But I do make it a point to track all these automated requests that come. You will have their email IDs in the mail that you get. All of them, when they submit it in the system, you will get their name, you will get their email ID, at least some of them put in their phone number and all as well. So you just need to send them an email and at least respond to them that way. Does that help?
Yes, that's very good. Thank you.
And Ernesto, one more suggestion from my side, just to add on top of what Lena was saying. So whenever you're getting the emails, and even if you can't respond to them immediately, so most of the email platforms, they give options where you can, identify a few of the words which are coming as part of the email content and segregate those mails into a separate folder. So that way, you can keep those emails which are coming for all this request and in a separate folder, and then probably like, once a week or twice a week, depending on how your schedule allows you to, you can go and check the folders and see how many of these emails are waiting for you to respond back.
All right, very good. Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, Michael has very beautifully summarized what I said. VPPR, get them in the door. VP membership, get them in the club.
All right. Well, thank you all for your great questions, being a great audience, to my team for putting this together. It is 7, so thank you so much. If you want to watch the replay, we will be sending out an email with all the links and a link to the YouTube for this training. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have a fantastic Tuesday.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you all for joining. Nice meeting you.
Bye.